Kaduna Governor Nasser Elrufai has described Lagos as a small place compared to Kaduna and even joked that Kaduna can even feed the whole of Southeast, predominantly Igbos. It is a huge state, Mr. Elrufai said of Kaduna, ravaged by worsening insecurity. So the fact that there is insecurity in one part does not mean there is insecurity everywhere. It is not Lagos. It is not a small place at all. His argument was to emphasize the economic viability of the northern states. Yes, we have had investment summits and they have been very successful. In the last 5 years, we have attracted nearly $3 billion in investments in spite of all these stories about insecurity because investors know that large parts of Kaduna State are quite safe. The Kaduna government further explained they are safe as anything. The governor stated this to State House correspondents on Tuesday after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari. He insisted that despite Kaduna's worsening insecurity, the state continued to attract investment even though it could have been better. On the potential of Kaduna to feed Igbos in the southeast, Mr. Elrufai expatiated. Kaduna State is a huge state. We have 46,000 square kilometers. I joke with my colleagues from the southeast. Kaduna State alone can feed the 5 states of the southeast 2.5 times. Like seriously? Like seriously? So this is trying to justify their failures over insecurity. That is just what this whole thing is all about. Every now and then, so people who are dying, so until when 10,000 people or 1,000 people or 15,000 people die here, that is when you now know that things are happening or there is insecurity. So one or two persons, just recently another one has happened though, just yesterday and today, another travelers again have been taken down. You guys have failed woefully. You see the way they want to turn everything. You guys, you can feed southeast, and meanwhile you have all the beggars in the whole whatever in your own region. They are coming to Lagos and all over the place in the south to beg. You have that, you can feed yourself, and you have a majority of all those people on the streets and you can't do anything about them. Why is there insecurity in the first place? So those who are losing their lives, they are not human beings, or those particular small area that you are trying to describe. So it does not matter. I don't know whether you guys are getting what this man is trying to say. So for the fact that there is a small, let's even assume what you are saying is true. So for the fact that that insecurity is happening in that smaller place, so it is something that is, that is not supposed to be talked about, or it does not matter. So because investors know quite well that they have larger places that are safe. So the smaller places that are not safe, it does not matter. To me, that is the way I could interpret it to be. You see how these guys, they are so insensitive. So that smaller place that is experiencing insecurity, why is it that it cannot be dealt with? Let's even assume that smaller place. Why is it so difficult that it is reoccurring every now and then? Insecurity is reoccurring every now and then, and you could not even tackle that smaller place. You see how these guys, they just open mouth and talk without reasoning. Is the food free of charge? If Kaduna likes, let it be as big as the world. Nobody beg on our food. It is business of give and take, business of mutual symbiotic gain. You get money, you get food. None is doing the other a favor. If you say you won't supply food again, we keep our money and find our other suppliers. Then you keep your food. All this nonsense and ignorant food bragging should not come from anyone who understands simple commerce and economics. You only bragging rights when you give it free of charge. Yeah, if you give it free of charge, then let me tell you have a right to bargain. That is not even the issue. To me, this is not even the issue. You have the highest rate of poverty in the world, and you have not fed yourselves. Yet you want to come and feed the whole southeast. Not be just be that. Now you be that now. I understand what this person is saying concerning that. People are, of course, you should know that people will respond. If you believe that Kaduna can feed all Igbos in southeast, why don't you allow them to go with their oil and make yourselves rich with the food you have? Political sycophants. Southeast has the buying power. Just few billionaires from one state in Southeast can buy Kaduna State comfortably. How I wish it is possible to acquire other states. Igbo would have bought Southern Kaduna out so that you can have full sovereignty. This Elrufai has a lot in common with Buhari. One example of what they share in common is dry jokes. Okay, your hatred against Igbo is too much. God has already blessed them immensely, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Nobody can stop us. Even in Kaduna, we are the ones that make things happen over there. We contribute a lot in Kaduna State without our tax payment to your government. Can you generate anything? Let me hear you again make jokes against Igbos. Make una feed una self first before talking of Southeast. Please, Kaduna State, can you use their vast land to house rural settlements and save the country from deliberating about cows every now and then? Yes, you want land in Southeast. Is that not criminality? Yes, they have a 46,000 acre according to what he said, and yet you want to go and thief another person own. Yet you want to establish Ruga with federal government money in the south because of the business you run with bandits. That is why you think so. Elrufai should feed his Fulani tribe men first. How can a hungry man feed a contented man? The same Kaduna has beggars everywhere. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. In the next 50 generations to come, an Hausa Fulani can never feed Igbos because we got every means of livelihood ahead of them million times. Tell this dwarf that called himself Elrufai that beggars in Kaduna is more than so. The populations of some states in the north, there he should deal with them first and feed them. Feed your people. Kaduna that has been acquired by terrorists. Abi, is there any other Kaduna? Let me single-handedly buy it. Elrufai, better clean your mouth because Igbos are so blessed beyond measures. They know it's beyond measures. Just have a land for nothing's sake. How many people reside in that thing? All those they are wayo that they are doing. My own point of view is that even if you have a smaller place, according to him, that is even going through insecurity, why is it that it is difficult to tackle the insecurity in that smaller place? Or the people who are there are not they are not human beings. You have not fed yourselves. Home of poverty and penury. It is the Southeast you will feed. All of una the mad for this una country. Make that Fulani visit Onch Ibadan for medical checkup. I check he is mentally imbalanced. Kaduna is a land owned by terrorists. Nothing good happens in that state, and you are an example of the misfortune in that state. The Kaduna can feed Igbos in Southeast is not my pain because one Igbo man can buy the whole north, but the pain land in Lagos for insulting the heart of Yoruba land to their detriment. If he says so, then let every state collect its own VAT and see which state will suffer. Kaduna that can't even feed its people will feed the whole Southeast. Elrufai gets sense for once because minus Igbos in that state, Kaduna economic will collapse, and that is it. Oh my goodness.